Hey everybody, good Thursday morning, top of the morning to you. We woke up this morning. That's a big deal. We woke up, we're alive. Let's get this day started. The Morning Post this morning is winter seems to have been short-lived. We are 21 days away from spring. The nights seem to be getting shorter. Tomorrow is the last day of February. Almost $1 billion cut from Medicaid. That is, if it makes it through the Senate. I don't know why Republicans always want to cut funding for poor people. Medicaid is mainly for poor children and seniors. And at the same time, give those cuts to the rich people like Elon and Donald and other millionaires and billionaires and corporations across the country. And they already pay very little of their share of taxes to start with. I know that when my friend John had to put his mom in a care facility for the last days of her life, they had to tap into Medicaid for some assistance, as do lots of other people. Little kids like Baby Doll, in between living in a home, have to rely on Medicaid to see a doctor. It seems all waste has to come off the backs of poor, struggling people, never off the backs of the wealthy. Republicans have always seemed to have just kind of a disdain for the poor and working poor of this country. My mama got surplus food back in the day before food stamps. Big blocks of cheese and powdered milk and powdered eggs. And my Aunt Betty got surplus food also when I lived with her down on Booth Road in Conyers. We would drive up to a government building in Rockdale County and load the trunk up with boxes of surplus food. The surplus food program was poorly run and had a lot of abuse in it, so the government finally moved away from it into the food stamp program. Mama got food stamps for a while, a single mom with 5 kids, working every day, but still couldn't make enough to feed all of us. And even with food stamps, we hardly ever had meat to eat. We mainly ate just beans and bread and potatoes and mac and cheese and drank Kool-Aid and sweet tea. It never has made sense to me why Republicans seem to have always despised poor people and the working poor. I was in the free lunch program when I was a kid, went to Grant Park Elementary School. Before that, there were days that I pretended that I wasn't hungry. On some of those days, I could have really used a carton of milk and some bread. So now what is important is for the rich people who live in million-dollar mansions across Buckhead in North Atlanta to get huge tax breaks, while poor people in poor places like Baxley, Georgia, to have their Medicaid and food stamps cut out. It seems almost heartless. It is heartless. My mama wasn't lazy. She worked right up until her final years as a housekeeper over at Rhodes Nursing Home on Boulevard, mopping floors and changing beds. She got us through some hard years when we were kids with a little help from food stamps. How does anybody brag about taking food away from poor people? It is an odd, strange time that we are living in, when mainly Christians who proclaim that they have the love of Christ in them rejoice at other humans being rounded up. And they seem to yet almost despise poor working people of this country. And they love the billionaire oligarchs who are making millions off of our tax dollars. Elon Musk gets $15 billion worth of government business, and yet he wants to cut out food stamps for poor people. It don't make no sense, y'all. Good Thursday morning, sweet people. Maybe everything has to really get bad before we see America getting any better. Yeah, the pictures over on my Facebook page is my 3 little brothers, James, Richard, and Joe. Yeah. James and Joe's gone now, and Richard's hanging by a thread. Every time I see him, I think, that's probably the last time I'll see him. his lungs is gone. But anyway, I'll tag Facebook and Instagram down here at the bottom of this. It's spring here in Atlanta, at least kind of pre-spring. Good day, everybody. I love y'all.